Sweet. All right, go. Wait, oh no, I'm not ready. So to get started, what I have here is my Canvas sandbox open for everybody to see. And I'm going to go ahead and show you all this here. Let me screen share. All right. So hopefully you should see the screen sharing for everybody. This is my Canvas sandbox, and we're going to just talk a little bit about YouTube playlists and how they work. So the first thing I want to do is kind of show everybody what you're probably used to seeing already. And if you take a look here, hey, Sarah, do you mind muting that real quick? For moi. Sorry, everybody. I have ADD, so it's hard for me to focus. So inside of Canvas, you can see here I've got regular YouTube video set up. And one of the things you can see, I have some text here, as well as there's a couple of other videos that I've just embedded inside of YouTube. Now, this isn't anything new, and many of you have probably already done this with embedding a video inside of YouTube. You can see here, if I were to want my students to watch 3 different videos, I could kind of run into an issue as it can begin to get a little bit cluttered. Students may not know which order to view the videos, or if they watch a video, one of the issues you can often find is when a student reaches the end of the video, it prompts them to jump out and take a look at other videos inside of YouTube, and they might be distracted by that, and then it pulls them outside of Canvas. So one of the reasons why you would want to use a playlist is to allow you to kind of avoid this situation. So I'll go ahead and show you what a playlist looks like inside of Canvas. So here's an example of what a playlist would look like inside of Canvas. Just have some quick directions up here. And I oftentimes make sure that I let students know that they are using a playlist, whether that's some text and the icon to let them know that it is a playlist, and just try to make it as obvious to them that this isn't just a normal YouTube video. Normally, you would just see a video like this and think, yeah, it's just a YouTube video. It has all the same features. If you click play, it'll start to play. You can pause it and it has all the controls, but the biggest difference is up here in the top right. There's a little flyout window that if you click on this flyout window, it'll give you a list of videos that I've actually created inside of a playlist in YouTube. So now my students have access to this as well. So if I had maybe 1 or 2 short videos I wanted students to watch, I could kind of compress them into a playlist and make it available for them to interact with and use just this way. So I can play the next video and queue it up like this. Additionally, if a student finishes a video in a playlist, it'll actually automatically jump to the next video in the playlist. So you can kind of keep them locked inside of Canvas and not jumping around on YouTube when their video ends. So you can see here the next video in my playlist just started playing, and it let me know because here at the top, I'm at 3 of 5 right now. So kind of a neat way to keep students kind of engaged inside of Canvas. So that's the basics of using a not the basics, but kind of what it looks like for using a playlist. So we're going to switch gears now and talk a little bit about how you can create a playlist in YouTube and how you would actually embed it inside of Canvas. So I'm going to jump over onto YouTube. Here I have YouTube displayed. And the easiest way to make a YouTube playlist is simply finding a video. So I'm going to just search video production here. And if I were to find a video, let's say this is a video that I really like, you can add it to a playlist or create a new playlist by clicking these 3 dots here and saying save to playlist. The other option is if you were to preview the video or watch it, and you decided this was a video that you wanted to incorporate into your class, down here in the bottom right, you would simply click save, and you can see this little pop-up window appears. So notice here I can either add it to several different playlists, and by default, YouTube gives you a watch later playlist, so you can always clip it onto that. So I can add it to several different playlists just by checking these boxes, or I could create a new one by clicking new playlist here at the bottom and giving it a name. And I'm also prompted to choose my privacy settings. This piece here is kind of nice because if you were just making a playlist for your class, you probably would want to leave it to public. Or maybe if you were recording yourself and sharing it with your class, you may want to set it to unlisted. So only your students would be able to see that inside of your course, or people with a link would be able to see it. Additionally, if you're maybe doing some research for your class or just having a private playlist to look for videos, you can set it here and you can create your playlist from this screen here. So what I did earlier is I already created a playlist. So I'm going to add this video to that playlist. So I'll click that button. You see here I've got my playlist. If I click the checkbox, I've now added that video to my playlist because it gave me a little dialog down here in the bottom left. So in order to find that new video we added to our playlist, there's a couple different ways you can get there. I think the easiest way is here in the top left. You just simply click the three lines, and it'll bring another flyout window. And you can see about halfway down, I've got my YouTube playlist demo right here. If I click Show More, you can see I've got all my playlists kind of listed here on the left-hand side. This is an easy way to access your playlist from YouTube. So I'm going to go inside of this playlist I just created. Well, I guess I didn't create it. I added a video too. And you can see here at the bottom, I've got my video inside of my playlist. Now, this is a little bit different interface than what you might normally see inside of YouTube, but there's some real big benefits to using a playlist. And I'm going to show you what those are here inside of the interface. So the first thing I want to show you is I have my videos all saved in this space. And if I were to go back into my Canvas side, and let's see if I have my videos here. And so as you can tell right now, let's go back to the first one in the row. So this is the first video in my playlist here, but in my playlist side, you can see that's the same video. If I were to move these around, whatever is on the very top of the playlist is going to be the next video, or the video that shows up first when a student loads a Canvas page. So if I go back here and refresh my page, you'll notice now that the video is updated with the video I'd like students to watch. So it's kind of a neat and interesting way to make changes to your Canvas page without having to go back in and re-embed a new video every time. I can't tell you how many times I've given students a video that I wanted them to watch and then later found maybe a video that was more succinct or provided better and more accurate information. And so instead of jumping back in and changing all of that, I can just simply jump into the YouTube course here and move these videos around and hit save. Now this might be an example of when you might want to use a YouTube playlist, but you could probably start thinking you might not want to use this if you only have one video to show students. One of the benefits to having these is it kind of sorts and makes your videos really easy, but you can see there's some problems. If you just want them to watch one video, but you have a list of 6, they might get confused and try to watch different videos that might not be related. So back on the YouTube side, you can see moving those around, you can change it in your playlist, but there's also some other things we can do. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to show you how to embed a playlist inside of Canvas. So I got my default page here. I'm going to go ahead and hit edit. Now that I'm in my edit page, I'm going to jump back to the YouTube playlist side. And down here in the bottom left, you can see there's the share icon. And this is very similar to just embedding a video. So if you've done that before, the process is almost the same. So we're going to click share. You can see this little window appears here. We're going to click Embedded. We're going to grab the code over here on the right. You can either copy it or you can use the Copy to Clipboard button down here. Once I've copied this, I'm going to jump back into Canvas. And I'm going to come to the top right. I'm going to find the Upload and Record Media. Go to Embedded. Paste that code into Embedded. And hit Submit. And that's it. Once you save, your playlist is going to appear inside of that Canvas page. And it has all the same features and functions that you're used to seeing. So it's really easy to use playlists inside of Canvas, and it'll actually save you some time if you're going to be using multiple videos.
Hey, Britton, could you show that whole thing again? Because you went through it kind of fast.
Sure. Is it just taking a look at embedding a video?
Yeah.
Cool. So we'll jump back. I actually just drank a whole bunch of coffee, so I'm all like, we're going to go through it. So if we're inside of Canvas, let's say I've got my Canvas page, and you can also embed this inside of other rich content editors. So you can put this inside of a discussion. You can put it in your announcements. You can also put it inside of quizzes or the syllabus. So it can kind of move around kind of wherever you'd like. So one of the big differences here is I've got my playlist set up. Let's see if I can. One of the things I can do is in YouTube, I'm back in my YouTube page. And to get to my playlists, if I'm at my home, I'm going to search for a video. Let's do video production. I'll just choose for beginners again. So I'll search a video on YouTube. If I find a video I think is going to be great, let's do this one here. I can add it 2 ways. I can either do the 3 dots here in the top right and say save to playlist. Or if I click on the video And down here in the bottom right, you can see I have a share option and a save. I'm going to click on save. And I'm going to select the YouTube playlist that I created earlier. You can also create a new playlist down here by clicking this plus sign, titling it, and then you can save the privacy settings down here. So for now, I'm just going to go ahead and make sure I have this selected. It's going to add it to that playlist. And once you click this box, it automatically adds it, so I don't have to do anything else on the screen. So I've added it to my playlist. I'm going to go back up here to the top left and click on the 3 lines to access the list of playlists. Find my playlist from the pop-out fly window. Click on it to enter the playlist window, and now I'm inside of the playlist. One of the things we can do to embed it now is click on the share button here. Grab the embed code. Over here on the right-hand side, we're going to grab this iframe. So we can copy it this way, or you can simply click the copy button down here. Go back into Canvas. And then inside of Canvas, my rich content editor, I'm going to find my upload and record media button. Go to embedded and paste it in there and hit submit. Now, a couple reasons why you would want to use a playlist instead of a regular video for anybody who might still have questions about that. You can see here in the top right, this icon will open up a flyout window that gives you a list of all the videos inside of the playlist. So for your students, this could be helpful. Maybe you just want to show them 1 or 2 videos that are maybe in order, or maybe 1 or 2 videos that all have related content. So this way you don't have to kind of clutter your screen with a bunch of different YouTube videos. You could just simply make a YouTube playlist with 3 videos, have them all synced up in an order up here. And then as the students play the videos, once they get to the very end of the video, it'll just begin auto-playing the next video. So students don't have to worry about anything inside of the player. It just jumps right into the next video for them. And I think it's about, this one's almost over here. Let's see if we can jump ahead. In 3, 2, 1. Now this video is done, and you can see in the top right, it started playing my next video, and it moved to the next video in the playlist, because you can see it's 2 out of 7. So that's embedding a playlist inside of YouTube. One of the benefits to having a playlist inside of YouTube is now that it's in here, I can make adjustments on the YouTube side. So let's say I added my new video and I want students to see that because it's a new one. I can either just drag it up to the top and go back into Canvas and refresh. And now that video is the first video that will play in the list. So kind of a quick and easy way to change videos if you find you have a space like that where you're really changing videos very often. One of the things I'm going to do now is, that's kind of the basics of embedding a playlist, but there's some other tools inside of YouTube that I think are really useful that can save you time, whether you decide to use it inside of Canvas or you decide to kind of use it on your own. So over here on the left-hand side, we did use the sharing option, but right next to that, there's some 3 dots here. If I click on this, I can do a couple things. I can add videos right from here. I can add all of these to a different playlist or make some kind of bigger changes. And then the one I think is really fun is the collaborate feature here. So if I click on collaborate, it's going to open up another window. And currently I have this turned on, but yours may look something like this where you don't have the collaboration turned on. So in order to just turn it on, all you do is flick the switch, and it's going to generate a link that you can share with other people. So when I have collaborations turned on, you can see it says allow collaborations. And I could simply copy this link and share it with people in my PLC to give them access to my playlist. So you can start to see how there might be some benefit to maybe sharing a YouTube playlist that you created about a unit or a topic. Then you could simply share it with your PLC, and then they have the ability to add videos to the playlist just like you would. You can see down here, I actually added myself, my personal email account as a collaborator, but I also have another example over here under my video production PLC. If I click on this, in my playlist, you can see my videos are just the same as I had before. I've turned collaboration on inside of this playlist, and you can see on the right-hand side, these videos were actually added by Mr. Bushman over at Dobson High School's video production. So this link was shared with all the other video teachers, and if they find something on YouTube they think would be a good one, they can just drop it right into this playlist. Now you don't have to worry about finding those emails or finding the video links inside of something that maybe you used 2 years ago and you're like, man, I really love that video. I'd like to show it every year, but I have to find it every single time. You could just save it into a playlist like this, and it would be really easy to find. Quick note about playlists. As far as I can tell, you can create almost as many playlists as you like, and each playlist can house up to 5,000 videos. So it's kind of a lot of videos, and I certainly wouldn't suggest embedding a 5,000 playlist video into your Canvas course, but it's a great way for you to have a little flexibility on saving some videos in the future. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to jump back into my playlist. And I'm going to show you one more feature inside of the YouTube playlist that I think is pretty useful. So I'm going to go over to the three dots again. I'm going to go down to playlist settings. You can see here in the bottom right, it says add new videos to the top of the playlist. If I turn this one on and click done, now if I'm off inside of YouTube, and let's say I find a really cool video here about microphones that I want to add, you've probably already guessed, if I come down to save, select that playlist that I've been using, what will happen now is now that I've added that video to my playlist, go back to the playlist and take a look at it. You can see that video I just added is at the top of my playlist. This change is also reflected back in Canvas. So if I refresh that playlist that I embedded earlier, you'll notice now it's a new video and I've got 8 videos in my playlist. So again, super easy adding videos into your playlist and a great way to kind of give students new and exciting content without you having to go in and rechange and edit your Canvas pages all the time. Let me check my notes here real quick, make sure I covered most of the things I want to, and maybe take a quick pause and cover some things maybe I went too fast and make sure everybody's on the same page. I'm going to try to pop out my chat feature here.
Okay, Brenton, so would you show where, very slowly, to get the embed code?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, where is it located?
And I apologize if I'm going too quick. It may be some lag time here. So to get the embed code, here's what you would do. Back on the YouTube side, I'm going to start from youtube.com. So starting fresh right from the homepage. So if you're inside of YouTube, your YouTube page might look something like this when you load it. To get the playlist, if you've created a playlist already, and grab the embed code, in the top left, you're going to click on these 3 lines, and a little flyout box will appear on the left-hand side. You'll scroll down to the playlist that you're looking for here on the left-hand side. And underneath this share arrow, we're going to click on this in our playlist. You can see under the sharing options, it gives you lots of options. We're going to choose embedded because that's what we need. And you can see the codes here on the right. You can copy it, whether you highlight and select it all if you want, or you can just click copy down here in the bottom right to get that code. So now we have the code copied, and something fun we can do is go back into our Canvas. We're going to edit that page, and again, you can put this in lots of different things, assignments, discussions, regular pages. I'm going to remove what I have there prior. And now with a blank page, to get my embed code in, I'm going to go to the top and go to Record and Upload Media button. Go down to Upload and Record Media. Go to the Embed tab here at the top of the pop-out window that shows up. Paste that code right in there. So you can do Control-V or right-click and paste. And you can see the code's in there. And I just hit Submit. And it generates our playlist inside of Canvas. Let me hit save. That's how you would put your playlist inside of Canvas. So I'll take a second here and answer any more questions if anybody has them.
So how do you create a playlist? Would you just show that real quick? Like if someone has no playlist whatsoever, how would they create one?
So creating a playlist is hilariously easy. On the YouTube side, we're going to start fresh. So if you go to youtube.com, the one thing I did forget to mention, and I apologize, you can use your Mesa Public Schools email account to create a YouTube account if you haven't already. You will need a YouTube account in order to be able to create playlists, but it's pretty simple to create a YouTube account. And if you've logged into Gmail already, I do believe if you go to YouTube, it will automatically log you in under your MPS account if you've logged into that already. So kind of a cool feature. So to make a new playlist, I'm just going to find a video I like. Let's go to, I have no idea what video. Let's search one. That's probably a good way. Let's search one here. Search chemistry, just because that's what came to mind. So if I search chemistry, you see all my chemistry videos are here. You can add a video to a playlist and create a new playlist from this screen if you'd like. There's two ways. You can either click on these dots here, go down to Save to Playlist. This dialog will appear. Yours will probably be blank except for Watch Later. So to make a new playlist, you just go to Create Playlist. You go on and name it. And then you can choose your privacy settings. Difference between the different privacy settings. Public, anyone on YouTube can search it and find it. Unlisted, only people with a link. So unlisted is a good one. If you're making personal videos that you just want to share with your class, you can put them as unlisted, and then people on YouTube actually can't search for your video with keywords. They would need the link. So even if you titled your video Mr. Tartar's video production video, and you were to search that inside of YouTube, no one would be able to find it unless they had a direct link. And private makes it so only you can see the videos. So if you didn't want to share them, or you're making videos that you weren't ready to share yet, you can set that playlist to private. And you're able to change all these inside of playlists. So if you set it one way, you can always go back and change it later. So I've got my video getting ready to be added to my chemistry playlist that's public. And if I hit create, you can see on the left-hand side here, I've created a playlist called chemistry. If I hit chemistry, you notice my video is created, and that's it. The other option, go back to searching for chemistry. So like I said, you can create playlists and add them from this screen, but often you'll probably be watching the video inside of YouTube, and when you finish watching it, you say, man, that's perfect for my class. I want to definitely add that. So what you can do once you've done this part and you watched it is just click Save in the bottom right, and you can see your playlist show up again, and it's that same dialog box. You can create a new playlist, or you can just simply click on it and add it to chemistry from this screen again. So it's the same dialog box, just two different ways of getting there. Take another quick break and see if anybody else has any other questions.
I think all the questions got answered.
Great. So what we're going to do now is I'm just going to talk about two other things that I think could be helpful. Oh, I saw Gloria's question. After you save it, so once you save it to the playlist, if I click on these lines again, on the left-hand side, you can find your playlists. So let's say I've got this one here, this is my demo. And once you've saved it to your playlist, it can be all found inside of this screen here. So then embedding is simply just going to share and clicking the embed code and putting that inside of Canvas. And I could go over that one more time if people need it. Otherwise, we can move on to end screens.
Britton, instead of using the embed code, can you open in a new tab and use the link instead, and then they're viewing it in a different tab?
The inside of YouTube?
No, in Canvas, instead of embedding the video into the RCE, can you put the link in and tell it to open it in a new tab?
Oh yeah, you could probably do that. So if you copy the link down here, and again, I'm inside of my playlist. So if I go here and grab the code for the link, go back into Canvas and hit edit. And I'll just remove my embedded one so there's no confusion, and just paste it in there. Hit save. So you can see this is my, oh, it didn't hyperlink it. Let me go back. So you can see this is a playlist because it says playlist in the URL. I'll just go ahead and hyperlink this really quick. You'll paste the link in this section here. So I went through that fast. Let me go back. So if I had some text inside of Canvas, I got a playlist. I can highlight that. Go up here to the chain. Click on that and go to external links. See, my text is located here. And if I just paste in that code that I got from YouTube and hit done, I'm going to go ahead and save that. Now students will be able to click on this, and you can see that it pops out this way, and the playlist is available that way. It's not maybe the best way to go about it. Students may not have access to this. I actually haven't shared my playlist with students this way. I usually embed it right inside of Canvas because my ultimate goal is not to get them over to the YouTube site. I want them to kind of stay in Canvas and just interact with the videos and have the instructions all in one place rather than going over to YouTube and clicking on a video and then seeing something else based off of their watch history that they think, oh yeah, I want to watch that next. And then I've lost their attention, they're outside of Canvas, which is what I'm trying to kind of avoid with embedding them inside of Canvas here. So it is possible. However, I don't know what this looks like if you click on the link. It's in my probably best practice would be to embed it inside of your course. So I have two more things to kind of talk about really quickly. And then again, I'll just kind of hang out. And then if we have other questions about it, whether it's YouTube in general, I'll try to answer those the best that I can, or we'll talk a little bit more about playlists and I can cover some things again. So one of the things that I've done is we're going to talk about end screen elements. And they're kind of a fun way to interact with your students in YouTube. I personally have used them a couple of times, but I think they're okay. You lost where to, you need another go back mark there to get the embed code? Oh, you have the code, but in Canvas? That's where you had a question? Very cool. So inside of Canvas, let me grab and we'll go through it together. So I got my playlist here. I'm going to grab the share and grab the embed code. I'm going to go ahead and copy it this way to my clipboard. And then back inside of Canvas, I'm going to jump over here. And this is a page, but you can put it in assignments and other spaces. I'm going to click Edit in the top right. I'm going to remove this content from previous, or so I think. There it goes. Now, from this section here, I'm just going to make this a little bigger. In this section here, in the top, I believe it's kind of like the, the fourth column, I suppose. There's a section here that says record/upload media. And it's got a little like YouTube symbol and a music symbol. We're going to click on that icon, and it's going to give us a pop-out window. We're going to go to upload/record media. Once we click on this, a pop-up box will appear with some options. And we're going to want to select Embed from the tab on the top. And just paste the code into the dialog box that it gives you. And hit Submit. So you can see here, we've got our video embedded inside of our Canvas page, and I'm going to hit Save. And that's how you would put a playlist inside of Canvas. It's very similar to putting a YouTube video inside of Canvas. The biggest difference is to get the embed code from the playlist itself and not the actual video. And that can be done by finding the share button. All right. Perfect. So now what we're going to do is take a look at end screen elements. These are just kind of a fun way to maybe express your personality to your students or kind of direct them to different videos inside of your video without having to stop and like talk about something inside of the video and eat up that valuable time that you have inside of the video talking about something else. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to show you where you can make those and kind of what it looks like. So I created this video last night. I'm just going to drag it to the top of my playlist here. And then back on the Canvas side, I'm going to just jump to my next page. It should reflect in here if you see if I refresh. Again, that video is reflected by the changes you make in the playlist. So I'm going to hit Next to get to the next section here. Oh yeah, that was one thing I was going to talk about before I got to end screens. Some use cases for having a playlist. It could be really fun to create a homepage for your students, and you could put a playlist in that homepage. And obviously you could put videos you found on the web, but if you're recording your own videos, maybe you make a video once a week for your students, it'd be a quick and easy way to just update that video on the homepage without having to go in and edit and re-embed every time. So kind of a neat idea there is just putting it in a homepage. The way you can do that is if you're in your pages or you've created a page. So right now I'm inside of my pages, and I've actually created this page and called it homepage. I embedded my playlist, And in the top right, I'm going to click these little dots here. I'm going to say use as front page. So this is going to mark this page as what I want to use as a front page. Now, in order to make this visible to students when they log in, we're just going to go back to the Home tab here in the top. And over on the right-hand side, I'm going to choose Home Page. So when you do choose Home Page, you just select Pages, Front Page, and you can see the name of the page you want to select and change it here if it's not correct. And then if you hit Save, now this is what students would be greeted with when they logged in. So to prove my theory, if we go over to Student View, this is what a student would see when they log in, is they'd see that welcome text and they'd see the YouTube playlist here. So this might be kind of a new and interesting way to give students directions about the work for the week. I might have a screencast or maybe something I'm kind of commenting on for the week and telling them to go over in their modules or look at their grades and things like that. So kind of a neat way to update this without having to go in every single week and change the video. You would just record a new one, upload it to YouTube and add it to your playlist. And then you can make sure that having it at the top in your playlist and it'll just show up this way. So I'm going to leave Student View here. And what I want to talk about now, go back to my modules. I want to just talk about end screen elements. Maybe you've used them in videos, and there's actually a really cool reason why YouTube has things called end screen elements. So if I click on this, I have my original playlist here. And the nice thing about end screen elements is they're not related to playlists. So you don't actually have to have a playlist created, a YouTube video that you create inside of your studio. So right here, I've got this video. Now I think Sarah and I were able to share audio last time. I don't know if I'm going to take the time to do that this time, but you'll just have to assume I'm saying really valuable, interesting information. So if I hit play, you can see my face here, and I'm saying really valuable information. Really just talking about end screen elements, and I'm going to point out what an end screen element looks like in about 2 seconds. I really spent a lot of time with this verbiage last night to just skip it. It's kind of funny. So you can see here, a little box popped up. I'll pause the video real quick. So when I put my hand up, that's kind of a fun way you can like point to different parts of the screen and say, hey, don't forget to watch this video. Or like in this example, hey, look over here and make sure to watch this video too. And you can see I've made Canvas Mastery Paths available here as a video students could click on. So kind of a neat way to give students direction without having to pause the video and say, oh, don't forget about last week I talked about Mastery Paths. It has all this important information and this is what it is. I could just simply point and say, hey, if you have questions, click on this video. And then here at the end, you can move them around on screen. So I've got one here, a video I made inside of my own YouTube playlist about creating YouTube playlists in Canvas. And students would just click on this and it'll take them right into YouTube, right to the video you were talking about. So kind of a neat example of ways you can interact with your students and put these little interactive video tiles on top. So if you'd like, I can show you how to create those, or if you're kind of like, nah, that's dumb, and we can just skip over it.
Let's show them.
Let's show them. All right. So inside of YouTube, so I don't believe that this option here will keep them inside of Canvas. That's a downside of those end screen elements. If they click on it, it will open it up and send them to YouTube, but it could be maybe a fun way to get them started, and you just hope that they come back to Canvas. So if that's something you're kind of worried about, I would certainly avoid using end screen elements, but here's how you make them. So I'm going to start fresh from YouTube. So here we are inside of YouTube, and to get to the end screen element portion, I'm going to go to the top right and click on my profile picture. You can see my profile picture here. And I'm going to scroll down to the section here that says YouTube Studio. And I'm going to click on YouTube Studio. So inside of YouTube Studio, you can add those elements by going over here to the left and finding where it says Videos. And this section is all the videos that you've uploaded on your YouTube channel. So these are personal videos that I've uploaded. So we can see here, this is that video, the end screen one that I used last night. So I'll just use this as an example again. Excuse me. So what I'm going to do is with my video here, I'm just going to click on the pencil that tells me details. And it's going to open up the YouTube video detail interface. Now, if you are uploading a YouTube video, this is a space you've probably seen. You can add a title, you can add a description. So this is available right when you first upload your video, but you can also go back and add them to older videos as well. So I've got those two pieces here. And then in the bottom right, you can see it says end screen. So what we'll do is go ahead and check this. And it's going to open up a pop-up window with a different interface. Now, a little bit about this. It's very similar to what you might see in a video editing suite. So down here in the bottom is my timeline, and it's got my video here in the center and the audio from my video as well. So what I can do is I can zoom out and zoom in by using this little bar here. So if I wanted to zoom in on my video or zoom out on the frame so I can see the entire thing. You can see on the top I've got time code listing out each second of my video, so this is 36 seconds long. And to add those elements, all you have to do is either hit add element here with a little plus sign, or you can also add the elements down here in the timeline. So to add a new element, I just would scrub through my video and find the spot where I might want to add it. And this is called a playhead in video production, so you can drag your playhead around the video to see, kind of preview what's going on up here as well. And if I hit play, there's audio in there as well. I don't know if you're able to hear it or not, but yeah, if you hit play, you can listen to it as well. It has some same YouTube controls that you might be used to. So if I find the spot I want to add my little element, I'll just highlight it there right at 10 seconds. I'm going to click the plus sign, and it'll let you choose kind of what you want to include. You can ask students to subscribe. You can send them other playlists if you want them to look at other playlists, or even send them to different channels. The ones that I've used is the video. So I'll click on video, and you can see down here in the bottom, it's got this section here. It says video, most recent upload. So in this box in the top, if I check these different buttons, it's going to change the style of video I upload. So I've got this one here, and what I can do is now drag this around. Let me back out a little more. I can drag this around and trim it down. I can move it around in the timeline in the last part of my video. So as my playhead scrubs along and my students are watching the video, the first one you'll see is here at the top. And as my playhead goes over it, you can see in the top right that video appears. And you can trim the ends if you want it to be longer or shorter, depending on what you might be saying or doing in the video. So as I scrub along, you can see that video appears. And then the other video right here, which is the most recent uploaded video that I've done, will appear in the top right. Or let me go ahead and remove this real quick. Let me undo that. So to get that out of there, all you need to do is click on it and hit delete on your keyboard, and it'll remove that element. So I had chose most recent upload as the new element. You can also do best for the viewer. I would avoid this because it's building an algorithm of the viewer's watches, so you wouldn't really get them to interact with content. It would just be like, oh, you watched that new soccer video? Well, here's another soccer video. The one that I use a lot is down here under video. And the benefit to using this one is if I hit the pencil, I can choose if I want them to see another video that I've uploaded in this space, or I can send them out into YouTube and search YouTube and just add videos this way as well. So if I wanted them to look at another chemistry video, I could choose it this way. And now it'll add that element once I hit add element. So I did it wrong. Hold on, sorry everybody. Might have too many elements in my video. Let me remove a couple here for you. Luckily, by removing those, it let me show you some other things inside of the space. So you can do any of these different setups here if you don't want to drag it around and make it custom, but you could add your videos in this way as well. So this is one that I've chosen before, but we'll just go ahead and add element and go to video. Now you can see up here there's a video, and you can actually drag it around on this screen as well. So I apologize, there's a lot of information in here, but I'm happy to help you if you'd like. So you can drag your video around in here as well and do those things. So I'm going to choose a specific video like I did. So I'm going to go back over here. I'm going to go to add element and go to video. I'm going to make sure that it's a specific video. I'll choose, I don't know, let's choose this one. And now I've got that specific video from my playlist added as a section here, and I can trim it down so that at the end of the video, When a student reaches that point, it will pop up over top, and so you can kind of guide them through that process. And then to save everything, you just hit save in the top. And now those title cards, those end screen title cards, will appear back on this side in your video. Just scrub through to the end. You can see it's available right there, so if they click on it, it takes them right to it. I'll just take a quick break. I went over a lot of things and a lot of information for end screen titles, so if anybody has any questions, I'll answer that. And I only have one more thing to show you before we wrap it up, and then I'll be open for all questions.
Do the teachers have the ability to add just text to a video that they upload, or is it only like sending them new YouTube videos?
I think they're only able to add the title screens. YouTube used to allow like text box to appear, but YouTube has since ended that practice. So I think the best you're able to do inside of YouTube is add those screens this way. Anybody, any other ones before I move on to the last thing?
Mark says you need to have more coffee.
I don't think that's a good idea, Mark, but I appreciate it. I was falling asleep about noon, and I was like, I gotta wake up. I'm gonna have to do this presentation, so I made some coffee, and that was a mistake. So what we're gonna do is jump into the last thing inside of Canvas and take a look at using a GIF. Now, many of you are probably familiar with using GIFs. So if I hit next, I'm gonna show you this little screen here. So many OIDCs and a lot of other people have used GIFs, myself included. If you're not familiar with a GIF, you can say GIF or GIF. I won't hold it against you. But one of the reasons you want to use this is it will take a piece of a video and transform it into an image. So you can see down here, I have two examples of GIFs. This is actually from the video above, and it's just a short 5-second snippet of the guy in the video doing something inside of an interface. So for me, this is really useful in video production, because if you look at this video up here, it says learn Premiere Pro in 20 minutes. So for me to ask my students to remember a 20-minute video, ask my students to remember a 20-minute video and the times in which the video does those specific things is kind of asking a lot. So one of the benefits to using a GIF is you could just pull out that very specific and explicit instruction, turn it into an image that animates over and over and over again on the page, and then your students can see that without having to worry about looking at the video. So a couple things I want to show you. It's not just the fact that GIFs are awesome. That's all cool and well. But I recently saw a thing that allows you to make a GIF in probably what I think is the fastest and easiest way I've ever done. So previously, if I were to like take this video here, and let's say this is the video I want to make a GIF out of, what I would have to do prior is grab the embed code from, I'm sorry, not the embed code, grab the URL from this link at the top, copy it, go to a GIF website, and do all this extra stuff, make an account, or find a GIF website that wasn't working or was working. But what I want to show you is if I've got my YouTube video here, we go ahead and I'll just let this commercial play real quick. We'll get it out of the way. I'm gonna remove this here. All right, so here's my video, right? And let's say I'm watching my video and this is related to the content for my students, and this specific section here is what I want to make a GIF out of. So like I said, you can grab this up here and go to a GIF website, but this is really neat. If you go up to the URL in YouTube, so you don't ever have to leave YouTube as a teacher, and if you go up here and click in between the period and the Y, hopefully everybody can see that. I don't know if I'm able to magnify in meeting, but in the URL at the top, you'll click in between the period and the Y, and this will be the same for all YouTube videos. So www.youtube.com, and all I'm going to do is add GIF in front of youtube.com and the URL that I'm currently looking at for the video. So you find your video, go up here to the top, open up the URL and type GIF in and hit enter. And what's neat about this is it's going to take that video from YouTube, go over to gifs.com, automatically start uploading that video and generating a preview so you could create a GIF from the video this way. So now what it's done is it's taken that video from YouTube. I've got the time code down here in the bottom again for that video. So I can scrub through and maybe I said, you know what, at 10 minutes-ish here was when he demonstrated how to use the effects controls. And that's what I want to make a GIF out for my students. So now all I have to do is click in this space here. And it's going to build a 3-second preview of this gentleman using the interface. So you can also drag the ends of this blue section here. You can make it longer. So if you have it 5 seconds, or if you want it to be shorter, like 3 seconds, you can just drag this around and create that GIF right out of gifs.com. These features here on the left-hand side, from what I can tell, are part of the paid version. However, you can make a GIF without any of this extra stuff for completely free from this website. So once you've made your GIF and you got the sections up here, you can just say create GIF in the top, and it'll begin to build the animation here. Because it's a 20-minute video, it might take a second or two to load, but you can add the title for your GIF and stuff in here as well. And then you can see down here, it's loading and checking for tags and things for my GIF. So it's actually creating it. I'm going to try something. It would be a little wild and hit next and see if it'll just generate the GIF for me. We'll see what happens. I might have jumped the gun. No, Drake, I don't want to spend $2 a month. There it goes. So now I've created that GIF inside of gif.com. I can preview it over here on the left, and I've got some options for embedding. So like we said prior, there's embed code here, and I'm going to talk about this really quickly. But before I do that, down here you can see there's the download section, and you unfortunately do need to make an account at gifs.com in order to download the GIFs, but it's totally free. So if you wanted to download a GIF and insert it just like you would an image inside of Canvas, it's a big benefit, because if this video ever disappears off of YouTube, you'll lose that, not only the GIF, but you might lose the videos you put in your playlist too. So downloading the GIF from this download section is a good idea if you really think this video is worth it. What I think is kind of interesting about this website, however, is over here they have an embed code, but it gives you some kind of cool options. So you can check this to make it responsive. So like Julie was showing earlier, if you resize the window, the GIF will resize with it, and it'll keep its original aspect ratio inside of the window. So if that's really important for your students, if they're on mobile, you can check that box as well. But what's interesting about this website is it also adds data to the GIF, which will play sound. So it's kind of a good and a bad thing, I believe. So if you have this here, you can just simply copy it. So I'm going to copy the embed code. I'm going to jump back into Canvas, and you can see I've embedded the 2 different kinds of GIFs here, and I'll show you how to embed a GIF in just a second. But this is the one that I used the embed code here on top. You can tell because it has some parts that you can actually click on. So you can share it, go to the actual YouTube video, which is kind of neat. And down here at the bottom, there is a speaker that you can turn on and off, and it'll actually toggle the audio from the video in that GIF. So you can turn the audio on and off. Maybe there's an instruction that benefits from having audio for the picture and not just the picture. Like I have down here, you can see this is just the picture that I actually downloaded from the website and embedded inside. So there's no audio for this, and students can't click on it or interact with it at all. It just lives like this. It lives its little Giphy life running around with the video. So I'll show you quickly how to embed a GIF just because we're here. If we go down here, I said something about a watermark. Yeah, you can see it. I believe you can remove it, but again, it's like, hey, you want to pay some money? So it's not a huge problem with the watermark. It's maybe the worst case, it's an eyesore. But if you want to pay for Giphy, go for it. But for me personally, gifs.com, I can make my GIF and be cheap. So to get my video, I can't. Sorry, here. If I don't know, I can't see his comments. It like flashes from meetings and goes away. To grab a GIF.
Your GIFs had the watermark and the other one didn't. Only the bottom one. So the top one was like the link to the GIF, right?
Yeah. So this one is actually sending whoever it might be, the students, back to the GIF website. And you're right. This one has the watermark kind of stamped on the image. And this one has kind of an interactive interface. So this is all clickable hyperlinks. Yeah, so let me show you what that looks like. So on gifts.com, you've got two options for embedding. If I grab this one here and go back to Canvas, and I'll go ahead and edit inside of Canvas. Scroll down. I'll remove everything. So what I've done is on the gifts.com website, I grabbed this embedded content here by hitting copy. And if I go back to this side here, I think I tried it with video, and we could try it with pictures as well. So if we come up here and go to upload, record media, go to embed it again, paste it inside of this space, and submit. It'll submit that embedded. This is like the interactive version. So this is the one that is not downloaded. So if I want to use the downloaded one that didn't have all that extra hyperlink stuff, like you can see here with the audio and sound, you would just make a profile on this website. You could go to download original GIF here. It has a little pop-out window, and you go to download original, say no thanks, Drake. And I think last night I had to push it a couple times to get it to work. There it goes. So now you can see I've downloaded my image in my browser. So back on the Canvas side of things, you can do two different things. You can edit still. Let me label these real quick. And down here we'll say from image. So this is the actual image I'm going to put inside of Canvas. So now what I'll do is up here in the top, I'm going to click on this icon, go to upload image. I'm going to find this image. You can click on this one to upload an image. A life hack that I like is if you have the image down here in your bar, you can just click and drag this in this space, and it'll automatically load it. So you don't have to click and go to your desktop and find it. You can just drag it right in. So once you've done that, we're going to hit submit. Now down here in the bottom, you can see this is the actual image that we downloaded that's now been embedded as a GIF. So if I click on it, I have some options to make the image bigger. So right now it's at a medium size, and I think that's a little hard to see. So I might choose to make this an extra large size, or you can even make it a custom size and scale it up how you think is fit. So when I hit done, you can see now I've embedded that image. And the nice difference between these two, if I hit save, is this top one is from the website, and I believe it is still linked to the website. So if you were to have an issue where they took this video down, this might stop working. So that's kind of something to think about. But if you actually download the image and embed it inside of your Canvas course, it will live there, and it's only tied to your Canvas course and not YouTube. So that was the last little thing I was going to show everybody. Hopefully, oh yeah, the downloaded one doesn't have any sound. The downloaded one is simply just like an image. You can click on it, but it won't do anything other than loop through the video, whereas the embedded one will have the sound option. Thanks, Sarah. Yeah, Sarah just threw a thing in there for you guys for PD credit. I did look at the form beforehand, so if you're like me and I got the form here, to get the name of this webinar, you just click on choose, and we're at the very, very bottom. We're the very last thing in that form. So if you're looking for us, we're there at the bottom. And at this time, I'll just kind of hang out. And if you have any other questions, if you'd like me to go back and look at playlists some more, talk a little bit more about GIFs, as I can tell you as much as I know. Or we can talk about the end title screens, those end title elements. Take a look at that as well.
It's mostly Brenton. Brenton's super cool with all the YouTube stuff. He's the YouTube guru.
I do it every day, and you know how it is. Use YouTube and it becomes a part of you. What's funny is when I first started working on this presentation, I was like, I'm going to keep it short and sweet. And then it just kind of snowballed. And so I was like, well, if I'm not going to show it now, like no one's going to come for just GIFs only. So I was like, we'll throw it into something.
Yeah. Good.
Well, if nobody else has any other questions, obviously you can always reach out to Sarah and I or any of the other OIDCs. And we'd be happy to help you. I don't know if I saw some questions pop up. I need to figure out a way to get chat to live on my screen when I'm screen sharing. Oh, there it is. I'm so dumb. There's a big old button for it. Duh.
I think Jim is asking what this training was called.
Oh, this training is called, in the form here, under name of webinar, at the very, very bottom, it's called YouTube Playlists in Canvas.
Hey, Brett, was that GIF or GIFs in between the dot?
Just GIF. So if you go to, I'll show that again. We'll go back to YouTube. And just for you, Steve, we're going to look up a photo. So photography, video, 10 amazing ideas. Let's do it. Actually, what's interesting too, let me stop here real quick. Notice here at the top inside of YouTube, these videos that appear first, they're actually playlists. So you can see that here, they have that little icon as well. So let me scroll down, we'll find one that's a good one here. Let's do minimalist landscape. So with the exception of this commercial, inside of YouTube, you can see here at the top, this is our URL. So I'm just going to open this up. And in between the period and the Y, you just write GIF. So it looks like this. So it'd be YouTube, or sorry, it'd be www.gifyoutube.com/ and then it's going to have the unique code for the YouTube video. And then if you just hit enter from here, after you've typed GIF in front of YouTube, it'll automatically port that video over to gif.com and load it up for you so you can start making GIFs.
Okay. You just create an account, right?
Yeah, if you don't have an account, you can still make GIFs without an account this way. The only kind of catch for that is if I do say create a GIF and I go through all the steps here to make my GIF, I'll wait till this loads and then we'll go to the next one. The only thing with not having account at this website, or not having an account on this website, is you are not able to download the GIFs you make. You're still able to embed them. So I'm going to hit next here and say, I love you, Drake, but not today. And then on the right-hand side, you can see all these sharing options here. And then here towards the bottom, if I did not have an account, I can copy and get all these pieces here, all the optimized links and direct links, no problem. But if I wanted to actually download the GIF that I created, I would need to make an account. But for me last night, it took like 2 seconds. I just logged in with my MPS email and it was like, cool, here you go.
Okay. So it does a, log in with Google account?
I believe so, yeah.
Another way that I make GIFs, if you're going to make a GIF, like if you've created a video and you want to turn your video into a GIF, if you use Screencast-O-Matic, that's one of the save options. You can save it as a GIF. So when I'm creating instructional videos that I want the kids to just watch briefly and they don't need to hear my voice or anything else, or they just need brief snippets, I just create my video and then tell it to save it as a GIF, and then I embed it into Canvas.
That's another cool thing Sarah brings up. That would be kind of neat to make your own instructional video. You could upload it to YouTube as either unlisted or private, and then just make a whole bunch of GIFs out of it and embed that in your Canvas course rather than a long video. If you're not really comfortable being on video, you could just make short little demos. So I got a question down here that's a really good one. Oh, I don't think I answered the copyright comment. I don't know what the copyright comment was, but I will get to that.
Is there any issues with copyrights creating GIFs out of these videos that don't belong to you?
Great question. As far as if someone's going to come after you for creating GIFs, no. I don't think it's fair use. I can't remember which policy it falls under because this isn't critique and it's not like a review. But I think you're going to be okay if you make a GIF and put it inside your Canvas course. I don't see a reason why someone would say, hey man, that's my GIF, because this is available to anyone on the internet, which please don't quote me on that. I'm not a lawyer. So if they sue you, I'll say, I don't know what you're talking about. I never did that training. But I don't believe you have to worry about copyright.
It would be artistic expression for you.
Thank you, Steve. I saw Amber had a question here. If I make a video and set it so that only students with the link can view and then embed it into my Canvas, are students able to share the link with others or no, because I embedded it into Canvas? So if I were to embed, we'll show you what that looks like. So I'll jump back to my playlist. So here's an example. I haven't set this to public, but I can do that real quick if you'd like. The short answer is yes. If they have the link, they can share it and anyone can view the video. But if you've embedded it inside of Canvas, the students, if they were going to do that, they would have to click on this up here. And that would bring them to the video inside of YouTube. And this video is set to public, so it will load. But then down here, underneath, where's my settings? I don't think I have them shown up here. But down here, underneath Edit Video, you can check and see what the settings are. But the short answer is yes. If you have it listed as, let's see if I can find it here for everybody. Here it is. So visibility. If you have it listed as public or unlisted, students or people will be able to see it if they have the link. The difference between these two is if it's set to public, anyone in YouTube who might be searching for those keywords for your video will be able to find it. Whereas if it's unlisted, they have to have the link and it won't show up in any search results. Hopefully that helped a little.
Can you embed a private video?
A good question. Let's find out. I'm a pretty public guy, so I'm like, yeah, whatever. Take my face and put it on stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take our video here. I'm going to set it to private and hit done. Now, I'll go back and kind of show you this process here, but if you needed to change a video, you'll want to make sure you're inside of the YouTube studio, and you can access that by clicking on your face, and then, oh, we're in the wrong part of it. But if we're back on the actual YouTube site, I'll show you how to do that. So right here, it says visibility set to private. I'm going to go ahead and hit save. And what we'll do now is I'm going to find my video link. Let me go ahead and go back to my channel. We're adventuring together. I don't know if I've ever embedded a private video before. Let's see if I can find the link here. So I'm going to click these dots. Let's see if I can find the embed code? Okay, let's jump out. I'm going to go into YouTube again, see if I can get the embed code. Let's find my video. Here. Put it up. So here's my private video. You saw I set it to private. I'm going to grab share. Grab the embed code here real quick. Jump into my sandbox. Oops. Look away, everyone. I'm going to drag the embed code and drop it in here. Submit. And hit save. So I've embedded this video into Canvas. It is set to private. However, because I am the owner of the video, I can still watch it, but it might be something to try. Jump into student view and see what happens.
If I can.
Oh yeah, Sarah's in my sandbox too. So in student view, go to modules, and we'll find where I think I embedded it.
Was it the end screen elements? No.
It's embedding a playlist. So on the student view, it works. The only thing to note, even though we are in student view, this student view doesn't reflect the privacy settings on the YouTube side. So even if we do it this way, you may still have issues with students seeing the video, but it's worth a shot. Short answer is, I don't know.
The answer is no. I tried to click on it and it said the video is private.
So yeah, make sure it's unlisted or public. Those are the ones I've always used. Private would be good if you had a playlist of videos or you made a video that you didn't want to share yet.
Hey, Britton, can you go over the end screen, how you got it at? I stepped away.
Oh, sure. Either the student view or
Replacing your other videos inside of your private video.
oh, sure, sure. So we'll go back into YouTube here, and we'll start fresh. So if I go to youtube.com, and from youtube.com, I'm going to want to make sure I have an account set up. So up here, I got my NPS account. I'm going to click on my icon up here in the top right. I'm going to go down to YouTube Studio.